Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. Welcome to the Dukes of Gaming. Today we will be discussing an article discussing Ken Levine's Hellscape, whether or not we'll ever see a game from the BioShock developer ever again. We'll get into some VR talks as well, but it's good to be here with my fellow Dukes of Gaming. First and foremost, we need to have a moment of silence for the fallen Duke, Alfredo. He died peacefully in his sleep on Thursday at the ripe old age of 99. Not a whole minute, but we'll see how he's feeling next week. How is everybody doing? I had a great week. I hope everybody else had a great week. Real quick, don't forget to follow the Dukes of Gaming for more weekly gaming discussions. Leave a like on the video and tell us if you want more. But before we begin, let me check in with my fellow co-hosts, my other Dukes of Gaming, starting with the Duke of Rocket League. How are you doing today, Cole?
Hey, good. I'm excited. This year's going to be something. And when we get to what we've been playing, this year's already looking better than last year. I have actually played a game that would have qualified for my game of the year last year.
I agree with that. I played the same game. We're going to get into it for sure. I can't wait to talk about it. Next, we have the Duke of Design. How are you, Ben?
What's up? Doing very well. Excited to talk to you guys.
Excellent, excellent.
Aw.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Good to talk to you too.
My cheeks are red.
Taylor, we have the Duke of Nostalgia down there. How are you?
Well, I was doing pretty bad up until that statement by Ben. So now I'm doing great. Now I'm doing you know.
All you need are some words sometimes. All you need are those positive reinforcements, you know?
You're right.
I have a question. Is that a Yu-Gi-Oh card by the LaCroix bottle? Or the
No,
LaCroix
those are Pokemon Magic cards. Those are. I'm sorry, I don't play Yu-Gi-Oh. I know.
Dorks.
All of it's for dorks. Come on.
That's true. But since we're talking, did we lose Cole?
Hi, Cole.
He's back.
Everything's going great today.
Cole, since you singled yourself out, what have we been playing this week?
We have been playing PlayStation Plus dropped Deep Rock Galactic. And it is free to play. And I remember hearing about this game came out about a year ago on Steam first. I think this is now finally launched. Was this a launch on PlayStation 4 or 5?
Yeah. This was a PS Plus launch.
Okay, so it's a PS Plus launch. That's awesome.
And it's only on PlayStation 5, like console-wise, right?
No, it's on PS4.
It's on PS4 as well.
No, I'm sorry, I meant, like, is it on Xbox?
I'm not
actually,
sure.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I will check that.
It is on Steam, though, so I know that. And I remember it coming out, and it's got an 8.5 on Metacritic. This is a unique game, and it is awesome. It's 4 players, up to 4-player co-op, and you basically play as these drinking gnomes, and you get on a drop pod. It's a mining game. You drill down into these planets, and you go on these expeditions searching for minerals. It's very Minecraft, Destiny-ish feel, a little bit of No Man's Sky.
I was going to say I played a game where I just go to planets and dig for minerals, and it's called No Man's Sky.
Yeah, but the gameplay is really good. So like the gameplay is incredible. The frame rate's really smooth. The graphics are great for what they are. Thomas, what do you want to add?
It's like an orgy of so many different games. I'm sorry. It's a lot of Minecraft.
Why are you sorry? There's nothing wrong with an orgy. Come on.
Nothing wrong with an orgy, but this is what this game is to me. It's Minecraft. It has a little bit of Lord of the Rings in terms of how the dwarves like kind of interact. Like, oh, buddy, it's like it's a weird dynamic, but I love it. It reminds me of the dwarves from Lord of the Rings.
So we've been playing together. We've played probably, I'd say 5 or 6 hours together, maybe more or less an hour.
Like 5 hours. I'd say 5 hours.
And it's got this sense of adventure to it. Like we jumped in and we started playing it together for the first time, and we didn't know how to do anything. But figuring it out was incredibly fun. You don't really know what any of the minerals do. You don't know you don't know where to go. Each gnome has their own like skill trait. So you got a driller, and your driller drills through and burrows the holes to the next area. He's got a flamethrower, and then you have like a machine, like a like a horde management I guess class, and he's got a machine gun. Then you have a scout, which is awesome, and they have their flares that they light stay lit up really long, and they can zip line ahead, and they kind of like direct everyone where to go. What's the other class? There's another one.
You said engineer?
Engineer, and that's what Thomas was. Engineer will put platforms out for people to climb.
Yeah.
And what was your other gun you had?
So
Shield.
with the engineer, you get a hand cannon that is a really great weapon, like one shot so many of the bugs, and then you have a shotgun. So you get those two with the engineer class.
Yeah, and you need these classes too. Like they all work so well together. I can't think of anything else. Like so, when I think of like Destiny, I think of they're very to me when you play with Destiny characters, they all seem very familiar. Like there's not that much. Everyone could be a hunter, and I feel like you're fine. Although I haven't played Destiny in a while, but this really feels like you got to have a driller, you got to have a scout, you got to have an engineer, and so basically you go down in there. You have your goal is to get like 200 of this kind of resource. So you drill down, you get this resource. You have this thing called a mule that follows you around. It's a 4-legged robot. So you mine your resources. When your bags fill up, you have to deposit them into this mule. So this mule comes beside you. Me and Thomas are like dumping all our gems in the mule. Then we finally hit our mission and we have to escape, and hordes will come every now and then. There's like an awesome balance between like calm exploration period and then like swarms of hordes coming, and then just trying to figure it out and exploration. But at the end, you hit the button to bring the dropship back, and you got 3 minutes to get back on the dropship. So like you got to haul ass back to the dropship, or it's going to leave you. And swarms come out, and several times we died just trying to get back to the dropship, whether it's drilling through whatever or trying to get out of a hole. But it was this awesome sense of adventure to it that I don't know. I can't explain it. Like you really just have to play this game.
Yeah, I agree with you. I had a great time with this game. It has potential to be one of the sleeper hits of 2022. Now, I don't know, how things progress from here because we put like 5 hours in. It seems like there's a lot of things the game is going to show us that it hasn't showed us yet, because each mission we played, it seems like it's doing something different each time, and it's randomly generated as well. So it has that No Man's Sky ish to it, where each planet, there's a lot of similarities to each one, but each world in this is very different.
Yeah, so like when we failed and we repeated the mission, it still felt new because the cave system was different.
Because we were a couple of times where we thought like, is this the same mission we just did? And it's like, oh no, there's like one thing different. And then you go more in the level and it's like, oh, this is completely different. I remember one time we were playing last night, and Cole, would you say you were like, oh, we're about to be wrapped up with this?
Yeah.
And we were in that mission.
I was like, man, this is a super easy mission. Like this was.
Yeah, he said we're almost done. And I was like, okay. And then we get to the ship, and the ship's like, oh, we have to do this objective and then this objective, and then there's a horde coming too. And I'm like,
all hell broke loose.
We might have been in there additional 20 minutes.
Yeah, we were dropping like flies. We failed several missions because we didn't know what we were doing at the beginning, but it was awesome. It was very fun to figure out how to play. Everything satisfying. The gunplay satisfying. The mining is satisfying. The exploration is satisfying.
The gunplay is okay. I wouldn't say it's satisfying.
It's satisfying, but so I'm saying it's not. Yeah, it's not great, but it's satisfying.
Like, I wouldn't want to rate this gunplay compared to like other shooters. It's not like I want to misrepresent. The gunplay is fine.
It's not what makes it special.
Like, do not go into this game thinking you're getting a shooter. Like, because there really isn't any like accomplishment you get from shooting the enemies. Like, shooting the enemy is just a means to an end for you to complete your objectives. Like, it's not like Destiny, where Destiny, you gotta kill the enemies, right? As far as I'm like, you have to kill the enemies in Destiny to advance further. You can't just like kind of skate by them all. In this game, it kind of gives you that freedom, but the gunplay is not satisfactory enough where you want to be shooting at them. Like you want to haul ass and get away from there.
What would you say makes this game special?
I would say it is a jack of a lot of trades. It doesn't master anything to me, but it has enough going for it in a lot of departments that matter: collaborative play, graphics, overall like mission structure. There's so many things that are so good about the game that I'm satisfied it doesn't do anything amazing.
It's got that kind of feeling that like when you're going to a mission and those doors open and it's like it's got, I don't know, it's like an adventure. It kind of reminds me of PUBG. Like when you start out, each game's going to be its own thing, and like things are going to go high. It's emergent gameplay. Like
And
anyway,
also, it's like like we said, there was a Minecraft component where it's like you have to mine. You're like you get a pickaxe, like in Minecraft, and you're like mining everything. Every surface of the level is mineable. Now,
it's
whether that
destructible. Everything's
leads you to,
destructible.
right, and whether that leads you to any other place, that's dependent on where you're drilling. But you can theoretically mine any place, and I think that that's super impressive. I've only seen Minecraft do that, so it's like really cool to see another game kind of take that element. I thought that was cool with it as well.
Are they voxels?
No,
Mm,
no, but it's like it kind of works the same way.
yeah.
Okay.
But it's not, yeah, it's not like individual Minecraft cubes. No.
The co-op just works so good. I think that's what makes it special. Like we were doing one level where we were playing with two other guys, and they were different classes.
That was the
And we
best
had
level?
to. That was the best. It was the best. It was awesome. So we had to locate these pieces of this mining rig, and we had to burrow like these tubes and connect like the main rig to these little sub rigs, and then you'd have they would attack it, so you'd have to go through and repair, and you can grind on the rails to your little
Like
gnomes
your
just grinding through the
Sonic.
caves like Sonic the Hedgehog. It's crazy. It's incredible.
That was the gameplay, because I was sitting there like, oh, if I have to walk all across this level, like go up surfaces, this is gonna suck. And then it's like, oh, you can grind on the rails like Sonic. I was not expecting to be able to do that. Was honest. I've never seen a game like a first person shooter be that dynamic since something like Mirror's Edge.
And
I was shocked by that mechanic.
Yeah,
And
it
this
was
game has
awesome.
a whole bunch of mechanics like that where you're like, oh, this game's doing that now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're all working together, trying to like. I was the driller, so I had to figure out how to drill, and they were laying the pipe behind me and repairing it and continuing it, whatever. One of the cool little mechanics is you have these illumination flares, and you get 3.
Yeah, I forgot about
And
that.
you get 3, and you can throw them, and like the physics are incredible, and they just illuminate the whole cave.
And when it gets
That's
dark
awesome.
in that cave, it gets dark as fuck. So when you throw one, it's like it looks really good too. And of course, in our private chat, I see laying the pipe. So yeah, there's that.
Specifically laying the pipe behind you. That was the best part.
Oh, man. But yeah, no, like the lights really do, like it really does show off how good the game looks. Like it looks legit like a next gen game.
It does. It feels next gen. The
Even
whole
though it's a
experience feels next
PC
gen.
game, it came out last year. I'm sure it looked just as good on PC, but it looks incredible.
And the idea, it reminds me of Returnal, because the whole idea of the game feels
Game of the year,
next-gen.
Returnal. Our
Game of
game
the
of the
year.
year.
Game
Returnal.
of the year.
Yeah, game of the year, Duke's
Yeah,
the official.
which is the only one that matters.
But yeah, I mean, look, you should play it. The gnomes, they're laying the pipe in the illumination in the dark, laying pipe. It's unbelievable.
You're mining resources, like Mass Effect style. Who doesn't like that?
I'll definitely play with you. I'll hop on and play with you sometime this week because that sounds fun. It does sound fun. Good
It's
little
awesome.
experience.
It does sound pretty cool.
Not only is it fun, it's like it's something. It's something special, really.
It's so fun that if I had known I was gonna have a good time with it, I would have bought this.
Yeah.
Maybe not 60, but if it was like 30, yeah, I buy this. It's that good of a time. I'm glad. This is why I love PlayStation Plus. My game I'm gonna talk about is PlayStation Plus too, so I can't wait to get into that. But yeah,
we'll get into it. Don't wait.
Yeah, just
Get
go
into it.
Get
Just
into
go
it.
into it. All right.
Yeah.
So Deep Rock Creek was Deep Rock Galactic. Deep Rock Creek is something. I didn't just make that up.
That's the version in the Tennessee mountains.
So I've been playing a game that was suggested by our fellow Dukes of Gaming, the Duke of Design and the Duke of Nostalgia. This was on their Game of the Year list. I've been playing Hitman. Oh
1,
my
2,
god.
3.
I cannot believe that I did not pick this up sooner. So I said I was gonna buy Hitman 3, but I was like, I have so many games in my backlog. If I'm gonna buy a game, I have to be for sure. I have to. So I have Hitman 1. That's a PlayStation Plus game from like 3 years ago that I got. And I was like, I played the first level and was like, okay, whatever. I cut it on this week, and I don't know what happened, but everything clicked. And I completed all the challenges for the tutorial mission. I'm like, all right, I get it now. I get it. And then I play up to the 4th world. And I'm like, you know what? I want to see this in next gen. Let me just go ahead and pull the trigger on Hitman 3 Deluxe Edition. Got that. Replayed all those levels in Hitman 3. Played the first level of Hitman 3 and was just wowed.
It's addictive.
It might be the most addictive game I've played in a long time. Where I'm like, I'm literally like trying to get all the feats. Like I'm addicted to doing it. I'm like, dang, there's so. I played Hitman before. Like I played Hitman Blood Money. I played Hitman Absolution, and I don't know what this game does exactly different than those games, but it's substantial because those games never hooked me in the same way that this trilogy, I think it's called The World of Assassination, right?
Yeah.
Like this trilogy is doing something crazy. Like I feel like I have like 200 hours of gameplay left.
Yeah.
Just when I looked at everything I have to do, and I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, that's what I've been playing.
It's funny because like your experience with the game sounds a lot like mine, which like when I recommend the game, I don't recommend people play it this way because like for me it was an emergent experience, and I don't want to like ruin the game for people if this is a bad recommendation for them personally, right? Mm-hmm. But when I played it, I slept on this game like a lot of people did, and the game originally came out in episodic format, and people were saying it's really good, it's really good. I waited until all the episodes were out, and then I still didn't play it, and then they made the tutorial free. So I just jumped in, I played the tutorial, and then I think I was still like finishing up the last couple of challenges on the first tutorial mission, which is the smaller of the two. And I was like, I don't care what this game costs, I'm getting it. I have to see the rest of this. And I went through each subsequent mission. Before playing the next mission, I cleared out all the challenges of the previous mission. So it was like I did all the challenges on the first tutorial mission, all the challenges on the second tutorial mission, then finally got to Paris. Took a long ass time and got almost all the challenges on Paris. And then I was like, I was finally like, okay, I've played this game for 20 hours and I've literally played 2 levels. It's time to see the other levels.
I'm feeling that because I played it. It's been my work game. Like when I haven't like been actively working, like I just had this on the background playing it. I probably put like, I'd like to say like 12 hours in this game this week.
That's pretty impressive. Yeah.
And I've probably completed fully 3 levels, and I've gotten up to like the second level with Hitman 3. So it's like I'm going slow with this game, but man, is this like the systems? I didn't realize how good the systems in this game were.
Yeah.
Now, is the AI the greatest thing in the world? No. But I feel like that would rob it of so much charm.
I think my favorite AIs in video games are Hitman's, Metal Gear Solid 5's, and Breath of the Wild's, because those AIs are pretty good, but they're pretty stupid at the same time. And there's some fun things you can do with those stupid AI, and I that makes you feel like you're kind of better than them. Isn't that what we want?
Yeah.
That's true.
The AI in Hitman are stupid compared to humans, right? Because they don't act like humans act. They act like pawns on the chessboard, right? They're part of the puzzle.
Right.
So, but they're not stupid the way that like Deathloop's AI was stupid when the game first came out, where you would like shoot past their head and they wouldn't hear it.
Yeah.
It's not like unintentionally stupid. It's intentionally stupid so that you have ways to predict that they act, so that you can manipulate them and create opportunities for fun assassinations, right? So I feel like, they definitely are stupid, but it's like it is in a way that enhances the game experience rather than detracting from it. If they were too smart, it would be too hard and you wouldn't be able to predict them the way that you need to in order for the puzzle to actually really work.
I agree.
Great way to describe it.
I think the AI strikes a really good balance in between competent and silly. Yeah. I think it strikes the perfect balance. I think the stealth mechanics, like I remember playing Absolution and I just did not like how Agent 47 felt. It just felt weird to me. I didn't like how it felt. I tried to get into it. I put a good amount of hours into that on PS3. I just didn't like it. This one, like he's a substantial character now. Just how he move, like movement, even shooting is pretty. Like when the mission goes to shit, and you have like a gun, like you don't have like just a silent pistol. You have like an actual like AR or something. Like it's satisfying even to use that. It's not the best. It's not a third person shooter by any means, but it's enough. And I feel like it does the best with, the parts that I thought the older Hitman games didn't get well. I think it hit those really well. So I'm having a great time with it. I fear how much time I'm going to put into this game this year. I really do fear. But yeah, that's what I've been playing this week, those 2 games. So let's go to Ben. What have you been playing this week?
This is over the past couple weeks. I did finally beat Returnal, although in the most dissatisfying way ever.
Our game of the year, Returnal.
Yes, our game of the year, Returnal. Finally beat it after giving
tell
it
this
game of the
tell
year.
this story because it's hilarious.
Man, dude, I got to the final boss and I'm like feeling out the final boss on my first encounter with it, and I'm like, okay, this isn't too bad. I think I can probably do this, but my health is really low and I don't have any med kits, so I'm probably gonna die here. I'll get resurrected at the Reconstructor and then I'll come back and hopefully I can clear it on a second try. So I get killed and I get reconstructed not too far away. I run back to the boss and the boss does not show up. And I look at my quest log and it still says to kill the boss, but there's a big hole where the boss used to be. So I jump down and I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird. Are they doing like every time you die, the boss shows up in a different location? Or like, is it like a story reason that this is happening? I'm running around and I see a car and then I go a little past the car and then it's the end of the game. It just triggers the end of the game. And I don't get to fight the boss again. But it plays the final cutscene. The entire time I'm confused as shit because I'm like, when is the fucking boss gonna happen that I just only did 1 wave out of 3? And it never happens. It's a glitch. I glitched out on the final boss.
How did you find out it was a glitch? Did you go look this up? Did you look it up to make sure?
As the credits begin to play, I look it up online. I'm like, there's no way that this was intentional. and it was not intentional. And it is a pretty well known bug. There's quite a few people who ran into the same thing that I did. It seems as though if you use a reconstructor, which is not like a niche mechanic at all, it's just the thing that you like deposit a couple ether into in order to get a second try. On the last boss, and it reconstructs you, then the boss won't show up again. So apparently there was another bug where if you use the reconstructor, then it would errantly spawn you really close to the boss and you like wouldn't have a chance to prepare or whatever. So their fix to that was just to get rid of the boss, I guess, for now. But it's not. It was very dissatisfying to see this ending. It's. I don't know. It might be too late, but they got to fix that.
Come on, there's something fun about finding a glitch in games.
There's
something,
but like right at the end there, if I had gotten to beat like to zoom past the third boss or something, maybe it would have been okay. But the fact that it was the final encounter, it was the final hill to crest, right? And I felt confident that I was going to be able to do it too. It wasn't like I was banging my head against the wall. I was like, okay, this is good. I'll have a photo finish, and just totally screwed me over. So I did not go back to get the true ending. Maybe I will face this boss for real once I play the game again for the true ending some other time. Because the one thing that I forgot to tell you guys last week is that I have made a New Year's resolution with myself. 2 years ago, 2020, I made a New Year's resolution that I was going to get 2 platinums per month. Minimum of 2 platinums per month. It was ambitious, but I did it. I think I actually did 30 platinums that year. So it was more than 2 platinums a month. I made a resolution with myself that I will get no platinums this year. I will not chase a platinum trophy this year. Because on reflection of my game playing habits last year, the fact that I only played 4 games that came out last year is a little pathetic. So I got to rectify that. And I've got a backlog a mile wide that goes back to 2019 of things that I feel like I really need to play, of games that are really great, especially narrative wise. So I'm going to try to carve out a few more of those. The first one that I went back to was Resident Evil Village, which I played with my wife after we beat It Takes Two, and that was a fantastic game. I don't feel too bad because it would not have cracked my top 3, but I had a really fun time with it. And now I'm on 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim, which I've been wanting to play since 2019, I think. 2020 maybe. And it's really interesting so far. It's kind of a blend of adventure game and tactics, kind of turn-based RPG battle system. But really the story and the delivery of the narrative is what's most interesting. I think I'll want to talk about it more in depth next week, though. Once I'm a little further, I'm not quite halfway through the story, but it's really capturing my interest right now. So yeah, that's me.
Fair enough. Well, hopefully that glitch doesn't happen to majority of gamers, because that is unfortunate. Taylor,
I made no New Year's resolutions. I'm fine, just chilling. But I might
you're
amend
perfect.
that. I'm perfect. But that said, I have gotten into the way, Ben, you bring it up, where you didn't play a lot last year, and I think part of my problem is I got into a group of film buffs. I hate film buffs. I really hate them, but for my job, it's kind of necessary to befriend them. But they are such snobs. And at a certain point, I got to a point where I looked at a poster or a trailer and I was like, yeah, I'm not going to like that. Or, yeah, that's going to be good. I kind of prejudge everything. And I don't want to do that again this year. I don't, especially with games. I want to just sort of play all games, kind of broaden my horizons, as it were. So that's my New Year's resolution. And on that note, I will be playing next week Shin Megami Tensei 5 because you've all
hey, join the darkness.
I gotta try it, especially before Pokemon Arceus comes out, because I want a good litmus test to see how much better RPGs can be.
Honestly, I didn't. Before you go, I don't know if that's such a good idea now that I think about it. Because you might spoil, this might color what you think about Arceus.
That's why I'm doing it now. I want that
different
color.
tier of RPG right here, man.
I want it. I want that. I want something new to play. I've never played a game like this specifically. I mean, I've played Persona, but I want to play something like this. So what I played this week was Donkey Kong Country. My fiance is not a big fan of video games, never has been, but her favorite game of all time is Donkey Kong Country, and I've been trying to get her to get back into video games slowly but surely, and she literally platinum Breath of the Wild. I gave her that game when she was sick 2 years ago, and she just played the entire thing. She found every Korok, every secret item, every last inch of that game was wiped out by her. She's like, do you have anything else like this?
You found all the Korok seeds?
She found she figured out how they hid them.
With a guide?
She's like,
or without a guide?
No, without a guide. Just she was sitting there.
How?
She was sick. She wasn't working.
But
She
that's like
You have to be sick for like 2
insane.
years to do that, I feel like.
it took her about a year.
I
It took her-
tried to find the Korok seeds with a guide.
It
and I
took
was
her
like,
about
this
a
is
year.
too much.
It took her about a year of just constant playing that game, and she loved it.
And what did she get for that? What is you get like a little,
think
you
you
get
get-
something, right? You get like a loot
Little-
tunic, right?
You get like extra loot space.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not all that special. She just wanted to complete it. She got to a point where I just have to complete it.
That's been on my bucket list. That's the only way I ask. That's been on my bucket list for a while, but that's something I just don't see myself ever doing. But
Yeah, no, I wouldn't recommend anyone
hearing
do that.
somebody in real life has actually done it, I'm like, all right, I might have to do that one day.
Yeah, no, she refused to look up guides. She just did it, and I was like, okay,
Good for her.
you've never played a game before, but she loved Breath of the Wild. I'm like, who like, I can't blame her for that. She just has like, bad experiences with friends who are like just like Call of Duty people, and that's all they play. And like, I get that. That's a little disappointing, but so I've been trying to get her back into more different games, and she loves Donkey Kong Country. It's the only game she ever played when she was a kid. So I pulled that out and said, hey, let's play this a little bit on our train ride to New York. We went to New York for Christmas, and we came back, and we keep playing it a little bit each week and just having some fun, because I want to get her to play Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, which I think is a great game, and it'll help bring her up to like modern games a little bit more, and like modern platformers, because honestly, like I think Donkey Kong games are better than Mario games, 2D platformer wise, at very least.
I
By
agree.
by a long shot. But at the same time, Donkey Kong Country is a horrible game. It just does not. I thought it was a good game when I played it the first time. I thought, oh, great game. I was a kid, but now I'm coming back to it. I'm like, oh, this feels like Bubsy. This feels like a Bubsy game. This is horrible. The characters don't move naturally. The hitbox detection is all wonky. It's a cool game. But
There's
it's
some incredible frustration to be had in
It's
Donkey Kong Country.
What about you?
absolutely incredible.
Well, do you like
frustration.
Tropical Freeze?
Oh, I love Tropical Freeze. I
That's
love
the best
Tropical
one for
Freeze.
sure.
Yeah.
So we're gonna finish Country, just playing through it casually, and then get to Tropical Freeze next because I wanted to play that to feel have more games to play. I want to broaden her horizons with games as well as mine. So
As long as you don't subvert her expectations, we're all good.
I never would.